Understanding and Applying Scientific Formulas Fable. In the heart of the murky mire, where moss-bearded trees dripped with fluorescent slime, stood a hollowed-out stump larger than any cottage. This was the classroom of Tom Shrek, a formidable creature with the rumbling voice of an ogre and the discerning, slitted pupils of a cat. His teacher's assistant was Jerry Donkey, a hybrid of nervous energy, possessing the twitching nose of a mouse and the stubborn loyalty of a donkey, who often communicated in anxious hee-haw squeaks. Their newest student was Pin 2, an aquascorpio predator. With a glistening carapace, snapping pincers, and a tail that coiled with latent energy, he was a creature of action, not abstraction. Today, however, he was agitated, his pincers clicking worriedly. A shimmering message bubble had just floated in from the volcanic vents, sent by his cousin. "What troubles you, young Pin 2?" Tom Shrek's voice purred like rocks grinding together. "It is my cousin, Scorpina," Pin 2 rasped, tapping the bubble. Inside, glowing letters read, "It is 45 degrees Celsius hot. The water is nearly steam." Pin 2 looked up, confused. "I do not know this sea. Is 45 a large number? A small one? Is she in peril, or simply bragging?" Jerry Donkey trotted forward. "Hee-haw! That is a scientific measurement. It requires a formula," Pin 2 hissed. "Letters and numbers together? That is swamp magic, not knowledge." Tom Shrek let out a deep chuckle. "Ah, but the best magic is knowledge. Think of a scientific formula not as a spell, but as a recipe. A recipe for bog stew requires precise amounts of slime and grubs to get a result. A formula is a recipe for understanding the universe." The universal cookbook Tom Shrek gestured with a clawed hand to a large, smooth cattail leaf he used as a chalkboard. Every recipe has ingredients, which we call variables, and instructions, which we call operations. He scribbled with a piece of chalky river stone. "Consider a frog hopping," he began. "We can write a recipe for its journey. Distance formula. Quart formula. D equals R times T quart, quart. Ingredients, variables, quart OD. Distance, how many lily pads it crossed, OOR. Rate, how fast it hops, OOT. Time, how long it hopped, O quart recipe. The distance the frog travels is its rate multiplied by the time it spends hopping." Jerry Donkey, eager to assist, gave a mighty hee-haw squeak and hopped twice. "My rate was 2 hops per second. I hopped for 1 second. My distance was 2 times 1 equals 2 lily pads." "Precisely," boomed Tom Shrek. "Now, what about the oomph of a moving object?" Momentum formula. Formula. P equals M times versus ingredients, variables. Set OP. Momentum, the oomph. OOM. Mass, the heft. OOV. Velocity, the speed. Shekt recipe. An object's oomph is its heft multiplied by its speed. Pin 2 clicked his pincers, beginning to understand. So a heavy, slow-rolling boulder could have the same oomph as a light, fast-moving pebble? You see, the recipe reveals the hidden truths. Tom Shrek beamed. The universe is full of these recipes. He quickly sketched out a few more on the cattail leaf. Density formula. How much stuff is packed into a space? Port OHO equals M sur V. Density equals mass divided by volume. Power formula. How quickly you use your energy. P equals with T. Power equals work divided by time. Kinetic energy formula. The energy of something that is moving. K equals 21 times M times V2. Kinetic energy is 1/2 of the mass multiplied by the velocity squared. Applying the recipe. Enough appetizers, Tom Shrek rumbled. "Let us cook the main course. Your cousin's problem." He wiped the leaf clean and wrote with deliberate strokes. Celsius to Fahrenheit conversion formula. Formula, degree F equals degree C times 59 plus 32. Ingredients, variables. Temperature in Fahrenheit, the scale we use in the mire. 00 degree C. Temperature in Celsius, the scale Scorpina used. Now Pin 2, Tom Shrek said gently. "We take our known ingredient, the 45 degrees Celsius, and place it into the recipe." He wrote, Degree F equals 45 times 59 plus 32. Pin2 watched intently. First, said Tom Schreck, pointing a claw, we follow the instructions inside the parentheses. What is 45 multiplied by 9/5? Jerry Donkey quickly scribbled on a smaller leaf. Hee-haw, it's 81. Tom Schreck updated the formula. Degree F equals 81 plus 32. And the final step? Pin2, gaining confidence, spoke up. You add the 32. It is 113, indeed, said Tom Schreck. The temperature at the volcanic vents is 113 degrees Fahrenheit. For context, water in our swamp boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit, and the hottest summer day here is rarely above 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Pin2's carapace paled slightly. That is extreme. She is in peril. He finally understood the severity. He now had clarity, not just a number. The power of knowledge empowered. Pin2's mind raced. Teacher, if Scorpina has a mass of 5,943.2 grams and she scuttles away from the heat at 16 meters per second, what is her momentum? Tom Schreck smiled, a fearsome sight. An excellent question. You have the recipe. Use it. Pin2 grabbed his own chalkstone and wrote on the stump. Formula, P equals M times versus, substitute. P equals 5,943.2 grams times 16 meters per second. Calculate. P equals 95,091.2 grams. Operator meter per second. Her oomph is over 95,000. Pin2 exclaimed, his voice filled with pride instead of fear. He immediately sent a new message bubble back to his cousin. Scorpina, that is 113 degrees Fahrenheit. Find cooler ground immediately. Use your momentum to get to safety. Tom Schreck rested a heavy paw on his student's shoulder. You see, Pin2? The formulas did not change the heat at the volcanic vents. But they changed you. They gave you understanding, turned your fear into a plan, and allowed you to help. Jerry Donkey nodded, a tear of joy in his tiny mouse eye. Hee-haw squeak. The cookbook to the universe. Pin2 looked from his calculation to his teacher's. The strange, swamp magic of letters and numbers was no longer frightening. It was a tool, a language, a power, and he, the Aquascorpio predator, had just begun to learn how to wield it. Moral: understanding the formulas of the world does not change the world itself, but it grants you the power to navigate it with wisdom.